Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to another episode of the Collaboration Culture podcast. I am your host, Kimberly Winborne of Kimberly Winborne LLC, which has a doing business as DBA. For those who didn't know what that stood for, I want to make sure to always break it down. So DBA Coffee and Collaborations Media, and also Born to Win Financial. I am excited this morning to have an old friend like in the streets, these networking streets, Ricco Johnson of I Love Choice FM and the 500 Fathers Walk-A-Thon. I'm going to go ahead and bring him on, and he's going to tell a little bit more about himself. But before I do that, go ahead and share out the podcast. If you're here live, make sure to say good morning. And if you're catching the replay, just go ahead and hit hashtag replay. Let us know that you saw the show and go ahead and share it to your friends and network. I'm truly excited because this particular person has done a lot by way of collaboration through the years. I know that Ricco has supported a lot of small business owners, has given a lot of people opportunities when they were on a tight budget, including me, to try to promote and network and all of that, and to highlight their events. And we know that events are ways that we get our messages out there. We share our visions, we network and connect and build and all of that. And he's been a person who has been integral in sharing his platform and really putting people on. So I'm going to go ahead and bring him to the stage. Welcome this morning, our special guest, Ricco Johnson of I Love Choice FM and of the 500 Fathers Walk-A-Thon.
So first, let me say good morning and thank you for allowing me to be on your platform. I don't get on people's platforms lightly and just not be appreciative of being on people's platforms. So thank you for you and your listeners for having me this morning to talk about the 500 Fathers Walk-A-Thon.
Yes, you are absolutely welcome. I was excited that you were able to steal away because we all understand when you're doing events, especially the week of, there's so many layers, so many things that you have to do. And so I know we were supposed to go on Monday and had to shift to today. And he said, can we move it? I said, absolutely, Ricco, because I just love what he's doing. And I wanted to make sure that people had an opportunity to tune in and see. So we did a special time today of 9 o'clock to introduce you all to him. And so, Ricco, I want you, if you don't mind, can you just share first a little bit about I Love Choice FM and how that ties into the 500 Fathers Walk-A-Thon?
So Choice FM 92.1 is a local Raleigh radio station. We are black owned. Choice Up 92.1 has been on the dial for 42 years. We moved the station from Rocky Mount to Raleigh about 14 years ago. So we now are part of the Raleigh community. 92.1 is probably one of the few black owned radio stations left in the state, along with our sister station 1390 Joy 1390 AM, which is a gospel station. So Choice FM is presenting the 500 Fathers Walk-A-Thon.
Yes.
This idea came from really many years of being in marketing and seeing that there's always been a great deal made about Mother's Day. Like in selling advertising for the past 25 years, I think, during Mother's Day, my phone typically rings off the hook. People have events, people have concerts. We want to take mom out to brunch. We want to give mom a massage. We want to take mom to see a show. And then in June, when Father's Day rolls around, which June is kind of a dead season. Nobody calls me to do anything for Father's Day. Nobody's having a show. Nobody is saying we doing a dad's brunch. Nobody's getting dad's feet done. Nobody. Yeah, and so we wanted to do something to celebrate the importance of fatherhood.
Yeah.
And bring, if no one's going to celebrate us, we'll celebrate each other. Um, and so 500 Fathers was born from wanting to celebrate the importance of fatherhood in our community. Um,
Hmm.
this Saturday, June 20th, we are doing a walkathon to raise money for Forever Fathers. It's an
Hmm.
organization Dr. Glenn Warren started. They help recently incarcerated fathers come out with a 12-step program to kind of reinsert themselves back in their kids' lives. Because that's difficult. You can't be gone away and then just think you're going to jump back in to a child's life like you've been there all along. It doesn't work like that.
Hmm.
Psychologically, it doesn't work like that. So we're partnering with him to raise $10,000 for his organization this Saturday, the 500 Fathers Walk-A-Thon at Southeast Raleigh Magnet High School. I'm sure you're familiar with that school.
Yes.
We're going to be down on the track. We're going to get started early, 8 a.m. We're going to beat the heat. We're going to get out here. We're going to walk, and we're going to celebrate each other.
Hmm.
Like I said, if nobody will celebrate us, we'll celebrate each other. I'm proud
Yeah.
to be a father of two girls. And
Yeah.
so I
Okay.
don't mind celebrating other dads that are doing some of
Yeah.
the same things I'm doing.
And how old are your girls?
I got one that's 17 and I got one that's 8.
Okay, 17 and 8. So I
Right.
was looking at what congratulations, round of applause to all the dads out there and to you. As
Thank
we know, Father's Day is approaching. So shout out to all the fathers out there who are showing up for their children, who
you.
are
Right.
doing dynamic things that they don't get recognized for. We understand statistically and emotionally and mentally that fathers are necessary. And
Hmm.
while women, I celebrate women as a woman, while women are doing a lot of wonderful things, fathers are necessary. And so, happy Father's Day in advance to
Thank
you
you.
and all of the men. You're welcome. And I'm really excited about this event. So, looking at the flyer, one of the first people that I saw was Dr. Ojinga Harrison. And
Carter Clinic.
yes, the Carter Clinic. So I understand he's going to be speaking on men's mental and physical health. And I believe that June is Black Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, I
It
believe.
is.
And I know that July marks Black People's Mental Wellness Month. So, how did you end up running into Dr. Ojinga Harrison to be a part of this event?
Well, we have a great relationship with the Carter Clinic and Dr. Harrison. They are a
Mhm.
sponsor of a show that airs on our station on Sundays at 9 p.m. Called Sunday Visitation. It
Mhm.
is a show with Kerwin Pittman and Consuela Chapman where they're reaching inmates from all across the country, actually,
Mhm. Mhm.
and talking about different ways and different helpful tools for reentry.
Yeah.
And so the Carter Clinic is the sponsor of that show, and that is how the relationship with Dr. Harrison was born. Um, we
Awesome.
we wanted to have the mental health piece for this event because as a man, I know that men we wear a mask
Mhm.
because we've been told, you've got to be strong, you can't cry, you can't do this, you've got to, so we wear that mask um while we're dealing with stuff in silence. I believe the statistic is 80% of all suicides are men. And
Whew.
so we need to talk to somebody. So that's why we wanted to make sure we involved Dr. Harrison and have that mental health piece
Yeah.
as one of the seminars that we have after the walk, just to touch on some of the issues that men are dealing with.
Yeah. So you're also gonna dive into child support and investments. What other conversations or topics can we look for, or does that pretty much cover it all?
Well, we want to talk about, child support is just one of the things that goes along with co-parenting. So we
Mm-hmm.
want to be able to have a real dialogue about child support and co-parenting with Judge Ashley Parker and Judge McCullers, who is actually the chief judge of the civil court, the child support
Mm-hmm.
courts. So
Mm-hmm.
we wanted to make sure that because that is a conversation that men have often
Yeah.
amongst men,
Mm-hmm.
um and so making sure that they have the right tools to with the child support system and the co-parenting system,
Mm-hmm.
and so that is one of those things that we need to make sure that we walk into with our eyes wide open, because there are tools and resources to help you understand how to co-parent. You may not know how to co-parent. It's
Yeah.
no manual on co-parenting. So if we can
Mm-hmm.
just get you some tools and some resources on making, because it's really about the child in the long run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That is a whole show, Rico. Like co-parenting and doing that successfully, because it leads into a whole other conversation about civility and
Hmm.
respect,
That's a good
honor.
word. That's a good word. Civility. That
Yes.
is really the word. That is the word.
Yes. I've had conversations, as a co-parent, my ex-husband and I co-parent our daughter, and we are such great friends. And that's
Okay.
a question. It's like a question like, why aren't you all together? Because you're such great friends. And so people expect for wars, when it comes to parenting together. So I love that you have Judge Ashley Parker and Judge Damian McCullers from a legal perspective to really dive into this, to educate and hopefully empower your men who are going to be there, but also really maybe even the women that are coming to really have a good conversation potentially about holistically working together to co-parent these kids, because it leaves them whole and well, right, in the long run.
Right. It's important in talking to friends and family members. That was why I keyed on the word that you use, civility, because I don't hear any civility when I talk to some of my friends and cousins and family members.
uh,
It's they did this or he did this or she did that, and so I'm going to in turn do this, and I'm not going to let them see his son, or I'm going to do that,
uh,
and and none of that benefits the child. None of
none.
it.
Yeah.
And so, like in Johnston County, the sheriff's department did something I thought was great. They
Mm-hmm.
developed a drop-off area for
Yeah.
parents that are exchanging kids.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that was something that I saw and I thought, wow, this must have really been needed from law enforcement perspective,
Mm-hmm.
that we need to designate an area that's well lit, cameras, so these two people can drop off their child.
Yeah.
So when you said civility, that word rang true with me, because I don't hear civility when I talk to people.
Yeah.
I
Unfortunately.
hear whatever the opposite of civility is. So,
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It's real, but it's unfortunate.
mhm.
But yeah, like I said, that's a whole conversation. Just really quickly for anyone who has joined us, we're talking with Ricco Johnson, co-creator of the 500 Fathers Walk-A-Thon. I am Kimberly Winborne, visionary and host of the Collaboration Culture podcast and Coffee and Collaborations Media. 500fathers.com. You want to make sure to go and check out that website, just in case you happen to drop off 500fathers.com, because we have an amazing event coming up on June the 20th, this weekend, right at Southeast Raleigh Magnet off Rock Quarry Road in Raleigh. And you want to be there, you want to share it with other men, you want to be able to support that if you can. So just pause for a moment, make sure to grab your coffee or your tea, right? And join us every other week where we have an amazing guest. And if you would like to be a guest, make sure to reach out to me. I'll share a little bit more information on that shortly. So let's dive right back in, because we got to talk about investing and financial literacy with these 500 fathers and others who are coming the power of educating people on financial literacy. Anybody that knows me know that I'm a certified financial education instructor. So this is my wheelhouse right here of excitement. And you have Thomas Wilson, Iceberg of Edward Jones, my friend who I've
Mm-hmm.
who've been in the network for years. Many people know him through another arena that he was working for years, and now he's killing it in the
Yeah,
financial literacy game. And
definitely.
then Jakiri, or is that Jakiri or Jakiri
Jaka-
Brooks?
Jakari Brooks of
Yes,
Northwestern Mutual,
Northwestern Mutual. All right,
another
awesome.
another
Tell us a little
phenomenal
more.
young brother. So,
Okay.
uh, tools, tools. As a
Mm-hmm.
man, as a husband and a father, I need tools. And all of
Mm-hmm.
these institutions like Edward Jones and Northwestern Mutual can give you tools to having a successful home life. Because
Mm-hmm.
they're going to talk about life insurance, they're going to talk about IRAs, they're going to talk about stocks and bonds. They're going to talk about all of those things people want to hear about when they hear the term generational wealth. Um,
Yes.
one of the very first things I know Thomas is probably going to talk about is, well, do you have a life insurance policy?
Mm-hmm.
So in case something happens to you, your family can be taken care of. So their life
Yeah.
doesn't change drastically. I know I have life insurance. I've got a wife. I've got two daughters. Whether I'm here or not, they still need a place to stay. They still need to be able to get to college. And they need to be able to
Yeah.
put me in the ground if need be.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so that's one of the first things that I know they're going to touch on is the life insurance piece. And then after that, we'll move to what are you doing when you do step away from working? How's your retirement life going to look? Will you still have money that's working for you and coming in? Because people now say it used to be if you had $1 million saved, you would be fine. Now they saying maybe that's not even enough. So we don't know where this thing is going, but they'll
Yeah.
be there to kind of walk you through and give you some tools on the financial side of things that you may have not known, or services that they may offer. You could reach out to them after the event and say, hey, I
Mm-hmm.
don't have life insurance, I don't have a retirement plan in place,
Yeah.
can you help me?
Right. And that's powerful. And one of the things with learning about financial tools is that it helps you, as you mentioned earlier, to really think about creating generational wealth. And also with these products, like even if you're living and you have a illness or other things going on, like these products can help you while you're alive, as well. And so, but it's getting with a financial expert like these fellas who will be able to guide, lead and guide folk in that arena. And as I mentioned, that's my wheelhouse. So I love talking about how these different tools can help people to really grow, and to really be able to make an impact in their own families' lives. And so lovely that you have them. And then I see you're opening up with Pastor Mark Gibson. So a lot of events don't necessarily have like a spiritual component where they're opening in prayer. Why was that so important for you to have that?
Well, Pastor Gibson is my pastor. I'm a member of Redeem and Love Missionary Baptist Church.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I wanted to set the tone.
Mm-hmm.
And a prayer can set the tone for a
Mm-hmm.
great day. You're going to have a lot of men there, some with their kids, and you don't know what's on these men's minds. we don't
Mm-hmm.
we don't know what people are dealing with, and sometimes a prayer can touch on something that you may be going through and help you push through and handle what you need to handle. So
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to make sure we set the tone, we set the day with a prayer from Pastor Mark Gibson, and we're going to move forward from there.
Awesome. So it sounds like a great event. Remind us again what time we're starting and all of those things, I know they can go to 500fathers.com to get all the information, any sort of outside Ricco scoops to help people
Look,
to
we are
get there.
going. We're going to start at 8 a.m. promptly.
Right.
Because we know it's going to be hot. We know, Saturday is a busy day for everybody, especially with it being Juneteenth weekend.
Yeah.
So we're going to get down on that track. We're going to walk. And then we're going to move to the inside for the seminars. So it's not going to be all day outside because, like I said, we know that it's going to be hot. But we
Mm-hmm.
want to start promptly at 8 a.m. and beat some of that heat, and then move you inside um, to the seminars in the auditorium. We're going to have plenty of water out there. We're going to have some food vendors out there. So it's going to be a full morning.
Great information. I think he may have had a call or something. So we'll have him back in just a moment. But great information. I'm excited for all of the fathers who attend. And I think what he said about that all of the day is not going to be outside. So there's the walk-a-thon portion, but the seminars will be inside. So this Saturday, you want to make your way on over to Southeast Raleigh Magnet High School, right off of Rock Quarry Road in Raleigh, North Carolina, to join Ricco and the other fathers, the other 499 fathers who will be a part of this event. I think Ricco is back, so I'm going to add him back to the platform. God bless you. So I was just giving the rundown once again of what you have going on Saturday. Ricco, I'm so excited for you, as I was just telling everybody. Can we close out with you sharing just a bit about how to plug into any opportunities at Choice FM for business owners?
Go sign up at 500fathers.com.
Mm-hmm.
Make a donation to Forever Fathers if you can. We're going to be out here 8 a.m. We're going to walk. We're going to fellowship. We're going to, more importantly, we're going to learn. And we're going to celebrate each other. We're going to celebrate fathers. This is the first year for the event. So we're going to move forward with celebrating fathers every year with this walkathon, um,
Okay.
and making sure that we have the tools as men, to be better dads, to be better husbands, and to be better friends to each other.
Awesome. I think we lost the connection for just a second, but we can go ahead and wrap up. And I was just asking a little bit about if there are any opportunities for business owners or anybody at Choice FM, but we can go ahead and wrap up. It looks like you might be having a little bit of technical difficulty. And so thank you to Ricco for joining me on this morning. Right there at the end, it looks like he had some technical difficulty, but I think we got it. And so for those of you who are interested, go to 500fathers.com. It's scrolling down at the bottom of the screen. Okay, he's back. All right. You back? Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me
Yeah,
okay?
thank you for having me on the pod. It's been awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Any closing? I know you just gave something. Anything else? We good to go?
Exactly.
Awesome. Okay.
500fathers.com. I'm looking forward to seeing you.
Awesome. All right. So thank you all for joining us this morning. We all understand with digital with digital things, devices and all of that, things can happen. So I thank Ricco for hanging on in there and trying to come back both times that he was disconnected. And I thank you for being with us this morning. Make sure to continue to follow the Coffee and Collaborations media platform, but then also to join us every other week for this particular podcast, the Collaboration Culture Podcast. We will be back here on June 29th with another amazing guest. who we will shine a light on. And that's what our platform is all about, shining a light on other business owners, other events, other amazing things that are happening here in the Triangle and beyond. Okay. So if you're interested, information is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. You can email info@coffeeandcollaborations.com. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook at Coffee and Collaborations. And then we are also on YouTube at Coffee and Collaborations Media. Follow me, Kimberly Winborne, on LinkedIn, Facebook, all the platforms. And I hope that I can be of support, encouragement, motivation to each and every one of you, especially as it relates to collaboration. Because when we work together, we are stronger and we are better and we are greater. Thank you for joining this morning. I will see you next time on the Collaboration Culture Podcast. Have an amazing rest of your winning Wednesday.
This has been a Coffee and Collaborations media production.